Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome back to the topic electrostatics. In the last lecture we have seen the concept of line of force, and the concept that we are going to study today is electric flux. First, let us recall what we have studied in the last lecture. As I told you that every charge creates an electric field in a surrounding region. So here we have considered one charge of magnitude plus q. It will create the electric field in its surrounding region, where the effect of attraction or repulsion may be observed by the other charge. So suppose any other charge is placed at point A inside the field of this charge. Say this charge is minus q. Then this minus q is placed inside the field of the charge. So this charge is going to be attracted by this positive charge as there will be a force of attraction. So force of attraction is experienced by this negative charge from this positive charge. You will see that this charge is actually has moved along a line. This line which is drawn by us is not actual, it is an imaginary line. So this line, the path followed by the charge when it experiences attraction or repulsion, is called as electric line of force. So any charge can create more than one line of forces. There will be a many line of forces in all possible direction emitting from this charge. Then we have seen the properties of this line of forces. What are the properties? That this line of forces always originate from a positive charge and they terminate at the negative charge. Then we have seen that greater the line of force in the region, if the region is crowded, it means what? Line of forces are more. Greater the line of force, greater would be the strength of electric field. See, if we move closer to the charge, we will find that the electric field intensity goes on increasing. So we have seen that this electric field intensity is found to be directly proportional to the number of line of forces passing through our area. So Phi upon A, we have seen this property in the last lecture. So here this phi, the term phi is for electric flux. Means collection of all the line of forces is called as electric flux. So in the last lecture we have seen this definition of electric field intensity, that electric field intensity is nothing but total number of line of force passing through the unit area. If you consider this unit area, you'll come to know that only one line of force is passing through this unit area. Here also, so all these are line of force and electric field intensity, both are having the same concept. Only one line of force will pass through this unit area. So this would be the direction of electric field intensity. This is the concept of electric field intensity, and we had defined the electric field intensity by this formula, which is nothing but number of line of forces per unit area. And this number of line of force is called as electric flux. So phi will ultimately become E into A, where E is the electric field intensity and A is the area through which the line of forces are passing. So let's have the concept of this electric flux in more detail, and let's derive the formula for this electric flux as well. Here we have taken number of line of forces. As you can see that all these line of forces can denote the electric direction of electric field intensity. Here we have taken uniform electric field, means it is not a curved line. Here the direction of electric field intensity is not varied or are directed in the same direction. So here we have taken uniform electric field, and we have taken one area of any surface. So this area is actually kept inclined to the direction of electric field intensity. Suppose this is the direction of electric field intensity, then suppose your area is placed like this. It is not in the direction of electric field intensity, it is kept inclined to it. So here also we have taken this area which is kept inclined to the electric field. How you'll come to know that this area is inclined? For that you'll have to draw the normal from the surface. Let this normal is denoted by S bar, where S is nothing but the surface area of this surface. So with this normal you will come to know that electric field intensity and this normal both are inclined to each other, means they are not along the same direction. So let phi is the total number of line of forces. So let us consider small area of this surface, say ds. The surface, we not the entire surface we are going to take, we are just taking a small area. So let us consider the small surface area of this surface ds, and let E is the electric field intensity. As it is drawn over here, this is the direction of electric field intensity. So E is the electric field intensity. So the formula of, and obviously if the area is small, then small line of forces, number of line of forces passing through the small area will also be very small. So the line of forces passing through the small area is, say, d phi. It is d phi. So from the definition of electric field intensity of this surface area ds is then given by the formula d phi by ds, number of line of force per unit surface area. So number of line of force is small and surface area, they both are very small, so that is why we have taken the derivative of it. So derivative of phi upon derivative of the surface area. This is the formula of electric field intensity. Then the number of line of forces passing through this small surface area d phi can be written as E into ds. ds vector I have drawn, but from the diagram you will come to know that as this ds is, this is the normal on this surface. So this ds and E, they both are inclined to each other. So the flux, electric line of force, is not along this ds. It is not along the normal to the surface area. So the entire surface vector will not come over here. Only obviously when we are going to resolve this vector ds into two parts, it is to be resolved into two parts. Let us resolve this ds into two parts. This angle is theta. So the component of a given vector along E will be ds cos theta into, and this one is ds sin theta. But this ds sin theta is perpendicular to E. It is not in the direction of E. But ds cos theta, it is exactly in the direction of electric field intensity. So entire surface area ds will not come, only a part of it will come in our formula. Here we are going to write this expression as d phi is equal to E into ds is nothing but it will be component of ds along E. So component of ds along E is ds cos theta. E into ds into cos theta. So this is the expression of small flux passing through the small area. So to find out total flux passing through the total area, you need to integrate the expression. So after integrating, small flux will become the total flux, which we have already considered. It is phi. Total number of line of force is phi, is equal to, as E is electric field intensity, it is constant at given point. It will come out of the integration ds cos theta. Or you might have studied that A dot B, if there are two vector A dot B, this product is nothing but AB cos theta. So you can directly write it as E bar dot ds bar, or this ds is to be, as it is to be integrated, it will be integration of ds, small area will become the total area. So total area is S bar. So you can write this expression as phi is equal to E bar dot S bar, as the integration of this ds is S. So I will write it as E bar dot S bar into E bar into S into cos theta, but E, it is just like A B cos theta, so it will become E bar dot S bar. This is the final expression of electric flux passing through the given area. So electric flux is nothing but the total number of line of force passing through the given area is called as electric flux. And what is electric field intensity? It is one line of force, you can say. So it is nothing but number of line of forces per unit area, and total number of line of force is electric flux. So related to this, let us solve one numerical of your textbook. It is example number 10.8. See what is the statement of it. A charge of 5 coulomb is kept at the center of the sphere of radius 1 meter. Radius of the sphere is 1 meter, and there is one charge which is placed at the center of it, and magnitude of this charge is 5 coulomb, and radius of the sphere is 1 meter. What is the flux passing through the sphere? What is the flux passing through the sphere? As you all know, the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. So you'll have to find out the total number of line of forces passing through. Obviously this line of forces are going to pass all around the charge, and means it will be perpendicular to each and every surface area of the sphere. So how will this value change if the radius of the sphere is doubled? Okay, so let us see how to find it out. We all know that electric flux is having the formula phi is equal to E dot ds, which is equal to ds is the small area, and which we all know that it is 4 pi r square. Surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. Similarly, from the definition of electric field intensity, we are having one more formula of electric field intensity. It is Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. So let us calculate it out. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is having the value 9 into 10 raised to 9. Charge is having the value Q, and R is having the value 1. So square of 1 will become 1 only. 5 into 9 into 10 raised to 9 will become 4.5, as it is 45 into 10 raised to 9. So you can write it as 4.5 into 10 raised to 9 coulomb. This is the electric field intensity. So now you have electric field intensity. You can easily determine the value of phi. So let us find out. Phi is equal to E bar dot S bar. E value is known to you, and S is 4 pi r square, surface area of the sphere. So we have substituted the value of E over here. It is 4.5 into 10 raised to 10 into 4 pi into R is 1. Square of R is 1. So this value comes out to be equal to, when you multiply it, it will comes out to be equal to 5.65 into 10 raised to 11, where voltmeter is the unit of this electric flux. Let us see how you will calculate the unit of the electric flux. We all know that electric flux is having the formula E into S. E is electric field intensity. It is having the unit volt per meter, and area is having the unit meter square. So it will become voltmeter. So voltmeter is the unit of electric flux. And there is one more unit of electric flux called as Weber. So you can write it as 5.65 into 10 raised to 11 Weber. 5.65 into 10 raised to 11 Weber. So unit of flux is also a Weber and voltmeter. So here we have calculated the value of the electric flux passing through the sphere. Now what is asked, further asked in the question, how will this value change if the radius of the sphere is double? You are keeping the same charge at the center of the sphere of radius 1 meter. Even if this radius is double, how it is going to change the value of electric flux? How it is going to change the value of electric flux? You all know that this flux is having the formula E into S. In that, you'll come to know that this E is inversely proportional to R square, and this surface area is directly proportional to R square, as area is also always having as R square term is there. So R square, electric field intensity is inversely proportional to it, and surface area is directly proportional to it. Ultimately R square from both the constituent of flux will get cancelled. It means what? This number of flux line of force does not depend on the radius of the surface. So even if you double, or you can make it triple, quadruple, so the value of the number of flux or value of number of line of forces per unit area will not change. There will, because the value of you have kept the same magnitude of the charge. If you have double the magnitude of the charge, then only it is going to alter the number of line of forces. It may get crowded because of the larger value of electric charge. So after doubling the a radius of the sphere, it will not affect the value of number of line of forces. The number of line of forces will remain same. So how we have calculated, let's revise it again. Here we have taken a charge of 5 coulomb, which is kept at the center of the sphere, and this sphere is having a radius 1 meter. Then we had calculated the electric field intensity with the formula Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R square, and the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Value of charge is 5 and R is 1. We have calculated the electric field intensity. It comes out to be 4.5 into 10 raised to 10 Newton per coulomb. Then with the formula of electric flux, total number of line of forces, it is having the formula E dot S. So E into S you can say. So E into S is the surface area of the sphere. It is 4 pi R square. So we have substituted the value of R, and we have got this value 5.65 into 10 raised to 11 voltmeter is the unit, and Weber is also a unit of electric flux. So here we have completed the concept of electric flux. First and foremost thing, you should remember what is electric flux. It is nothing but the total number of line of forces passing through a given area, and we have derived the formula of it. Phi is equal to E bar dot S bar. How we have derived it? It is quite simple. We have chosen one small area and we have chosen one small number of line of forces passing through this area. We had calculated it with the formula of electric field intensity. It comes out to be equal to E bar dot S bar. Here we have completed our topic electrostatics. Hope you will have understood the concept. Thank you.